If it wasn't for my passion of landscape photography, I would have never discovered this place, never knew it existed. Good morning and welcome to another vlog as we enter week 451 of lockdown. We can do what we can in these testing times. I just think it's important to continue with the creativity when it comes to photography. Unfortunately, for the majority of us, all our favourite locations to shoot have been taken away from us. Me, for example, I haven't been to the Lake District for since early October, and I do rather miss it. But there's nothing we can do about that at this moment in time. We do live in hope, but at this moment in time we need to keep local. So today's session, I'm headed back into my local woodlands, but I'm going to restrict myself to two lenses today, and that is the 35mm and 85mm prime lens. Do not underestimate the power of a prime lens. A quick lens, wide aperture, f1.8 for the 35 and f2 for the 85mm. It really can open up some new doors when it comes to creating some different images, including a nice bokeh, nice shallow depth of field. So that's what I'm going to do today. It's quite a moody day actually. Just some quite interesting skies, so I might play around with that. One thing I have noticed, especially recently, is I don't tend to photograph a lot of skies. If you look back on my videos, especially in the Lake District, I do tend to take a wider scene, obviously, of the mountains, and include a lot of the skies and bring in a bit of mood, because if you play around the clouds you can really draw the moodiness in by reducing the exposure. So yeah, it might be an option today. Some nice brooding skies coming my way. So I got distracted by a nice clump of silver birch, as you do. Nothing quite photogenic about silver birch, isn't there? But of course I went in and got a bit frustrated because I couldn't find anything. Then I remembered I mentioned about the moody skies. Still here, but of course you need a composition. Couldn't find it. So I'm not going to push myself. It's important not to push yourself, just for the sake of it. I'm going to leave this session. Yes, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to continue into another day. Take care for now. To be honest, I lost my mojo that morning. It just wasn't feeling right. I was pushing myself, but to a point where I was just doing it for the sake of it, just for the sake of getting some images that morning. But if I'm honest, nothing really worked. I had the wrong mindset. I was there for a different reason that morning, and that was pay my respects to my father, who sadly passed away a year ago that day. So obviously other things on my mind. I am, however, back to the same location where you saw me last week. It's a couple of mile walk from where I live. It's a beautiful area with still got the frost as well. In fact, it's funny, very similar conditions as last week. Remember that lone tree? Why not? It's important to come back and have another try at things. And a few shots. I have still kept to my prime lens collection only, so I've got my 35mm, my 85mm, and just in case my 600mm as well. The light has come and it's gone, to be honest. I'm just glad I captured those moments, those wonderful warm moments we are blessed every now and then with. My gloves back on, getting a bit nippy. Now, I'm going to start off this session focusing on the close-up details. This is a good fit. Bear with me. Oh, grief. What are they? Doll's hand size. Yeah, I'm going to go up close. I've already spotted some nice ice formation. I mentioned before I brought my 85mm. Now, one of the reasons I purchased that lens was due to its macro capabilities and its mid telephoto range. You remember the tree as well from last week with the broken branches? I'm looking at it now. Looks quite inviting, so again I'm going to go up close and see what sort of frames I can make from that. Change my gloves. These are a lot better fitting. You've probably seen these before, more practical. My photography gloves, there you go. This is very chilly. Now, it's important to explore, discover new locations, unwrap different areas, especially now in the climate we are facing with all the restrictions. But it's also equally as important to decide that it's not quite working and to move on, and that's exactly what happened. I spent some time looking around the broken gnarly tree, getting up close, but yeah, I found it quite difficult. So I've walked down the path, which in itself is quite interesting, and I've discovered it takes you onto the Luddite Trail, which is a trail quite common to these areas. I won't go into the history, but looking around the corner, it's led me into some rather interesting formations. To say I'm pleased is an understatement. Just goes to show, doesn't it? Explore. Important to move on. Look at this place. Wow, wow, wow. Now I'm not saying I'm going to get a decent photograph in this session, but I tell you what, potential. Imagine this in fog. Absolutely wonderful. Look at that. Look at that weaving line there, nice S-curve. I framed up a shot. I had to get the tripod really high because the sky just creeping in. So I just wanted to take that out of the composition. The main subject here is of course that wonderful S-bend there. I framed it up with some nice looking gnarly trees as well. This has so much potential. This is literally within an hour from where I live. So when the time is right, when the fog is out, this is definitely a place I am coming back to. I'm a happy man. When I arrived this morning, I had a plan to go in close, a bit of macro photography using the 85mm lens. That's what the intention was. But as the morning's gone on, I've wandered and discovered new locations. Wow. Never knew this place existed until now. That's a wonderful formality. I'm just obviously thinking ahead and better times. Imagine this place and the fog, the mist. Whew. It's important we don't keep to plans, in my opinion. You've got to adapt to your surroundings with landscape photography. And if it wasn't for my passion of landscape photography, I would have never discovered this place. Never knew it would have existed. So I'm going to leave this for another day when the conditions serve it right. Wow. Okay, I'm going to go now. Take good care of yourselves. Keep smiling. Until next time, bye bye for now.